The Coop, because if you ride on his back, it's fun and it's air conditioned. His real name is Sam Cooper. Yeah!
How's it going, everyone? Please don't kill the poor. I am the poor, and I don't want to die. So, we're going to get this going. I think anyone who knows me would clearly say that I'm not an optimist. But I don't know, I take issue with that. Like, I feel like I've got a good, 6 years left, you know? Like, I feel like if I make it to 27, it'll be a miracle. So, just because things are going to shit. We got Donald Trump's our president. That's fucked. Our planet's falling apart, and yesterday for lunch I had a bottle of wine. So things are going great. So I think, my whole plan is, you guys know, the 27 Club? Yeah. It's a bunch of, famous people who died at 27. So my plan is just to join that, I think. I think I'm basically just going to make everyone think I have a ton of potential, and then never have to live up to it. So far, I am doing great. So in that vein, I've been writing, been trying to do some writing. Came up with a TV show idea for a sitcom about the Antichrist. But he's not like the Antichrist in the traditional sense, and I don't know theology, so I'm not even going to get into it. However, he's just the opposite of whatever Jesus does. So I call it reverse Jesus. He goes around, he just turns everybody's wine into water. He's making everyone be sober. It's Jesus, reverse Jesus, come on. Or he swims on land. He's just swimming on the coastline while everyone else is it's just he has 12 specific people that he follows around. He's just God, reverse Jesus. So if anyone in this backyard crowd does happen to be a television show producer, hit me up after the show. That's that one. I made a joke on Facebook the other day about doing heroin. And my dad commented, he's like, "You can't do heroin, Sam. You don't like needles." And I said, "No, Dad, I don't like belts. Whose fault is that?" My dad didn't whip me. He used his hands. So, that joke's a lie. I'm a liar. Anyway, I have recently a friend of mine, the same friend, gave me two of the best compliments I think I've ever gotten. At one point, he called me a legend. Thought that was cool. And then another time, he called me a god. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Until I started thinking about what he meant by it, and I realized he's just saying he doesn't believe in me. So, I'm doing great tonight, guys. I'm doing so good. I don't know. It's a little chilly out here, but I kind of growing up in Arizona, wish I had real winter weather. And at this point, I think I would take a nuclear winter. So we're right on track for that. So that's good. And let's see what else we got here. This is a new set, guys. So it's going exactly how I planned. So I work at a school, and I used to work at a call center. And what's fucked up is I had to take a drug test to work at the call center, but I did not have to take a drug test to work at an elementary school. But it makes sense, if you worked at that school and you had to deal with those kids, you would probably turn to drugs too. And if you worked at that call center, you would really want to give optimal service, unhindered by substances. So I think there's a sound logic behind it. But my boss, the other day gave a student an award for doing the right thing when no one is watching. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then I thought about it, and I was like, then how did he know? And so I started just sitting there bored in my empty library, because none of the kids read. I started coming up with my own 1984-esque thing about this school. This principal, who's really just a guy in his early 50s who's a failed screenwriter. But I imagine him as addressing the kids over the projector screens, just his face, and just Big Brother's always watching. So do the right thing. Follow those 6 pillars of character. They still do that. That's a weird thing. I'm going to get out of here. That's all I had prepared. You guys have a great night. Thanks for listening.